Letting it all out. He is feeling this. And they know that they need him to lift his head and go again. Because there is still 15 minutes of football to be played. And his Portuguese teammates right now are consoling him.
Oh, God. Hold on, wait, let me cry.
Let me cry?
Let me cry for Ronaldo. Raise your hand if your goat has been found crying. Where are they? Where are they?
Gary's not here.
Oh, Gary.
If in the last 20 days your goat has been found crying on the pitch, can you raise your hands up? All right. Okay. Well, I'm glad that none of us, our goat, has been found crying recently. Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo, listen, this is a brotherly advice from a fellow brother, okay? I think you're too old for that stuff, man. Like, come on, man. Come on, Ronaldo. Stop looking for some kind of media attention. Like, it shouldn't be about you, bruv. It shouldn't be about you, bruv. It should... Fam, yesterday's game, there were people who we should be focusing on. All Black should be focused on, right?
Diogo
Costa should be focused on. These are people that put up some serious, tremendous performance on that pitch. We should be speaking about them, not some big baby crying on the pitch. Why? Because things were just not going his way. And come on, man.
Let's backtrack a little bit there. So, yes, Portugal ended up beating Slovenia in penalties last night. The match goes into extra time, and Cristiano Ronaldo is set to take a penalty against the one and only Oblak, if you will. The penalty was not a bad penalty at all, but Oblak just got to it. Amazing, brilliant save from him. And then we see the break in between the two halves of extra time, and Cristiano Ronaldo, Alex, loses all composure, obviously very emotional. We'll get to that. And then second half continues. We go into penalties, and it was Diogo Costa who saved 3 penalties in a row for Portugal. Brilliant, easy peasy lemon squeezy, because, well, these penalties were some of the worst I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, that's like penalty shootout 101. Don't put it at a savable height. I don't care if you're, put it anywhere in the goal, but don't put it waist height where it's easy to dive and save. And, Diogo Costa did the job. First goalkeeper to ever save 3 penalties at the Euros, and also first goalkeeper to not concede a goal at the Euros, which is an impressive stat for him, but a damning one for Slovenia.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like the penalties, my biggest issue was that you could tell where the players were going to shoot as they were walking up to the ball. I shouldn't be able to tell from my TV here in Madrid, They definitely needed practice. You could tell they were nervous. You could tell that they're obviously not as comfortable doing this. And I get it, it's a big stage to do it, but they were shocking.
They should do a lot better than that. And I think it's, especially when we talk about the teams that have surprised us this tournament, you've got to take those moments. I think of Benjamin Šeško's chance. Had he, converted something like that, they wouldn't have to go to penalties. But when you do go to penalties, it is effectively 50-50. I know some players obviously have better ability when it comes to taking penalties. They have more experience, but it levels the playing field so much more than when you're playing just in normal play. And Slovenia had a massive chance to knock out Portugal, and I don't think they could have done any worse.
Listen, I think you guys are not really seeing the other side of this whole thing, though. I think Slovenia came to that match without thinking that we were going to go to a penalty. They knew, they came in because they felt like we are going for the win. Listen, because I don't understand I don't know which match you guys watched, but from what I saw, Slovenia came there with some kind of proper abido shaker.
They weren't bad, but when you have like Benjamin Šeško going up one-on-one against Diogo Costa, you have to score those goals.
Yeah.
That one-on-one in the second half there, when I realized he wasn't going to score that, I knew Portugal would win. Because if you cannot convert this into a goal, it is not going to be enough.
If you feel like because he's missed a one-on-one and you felt like,
No, it's because they missed all their chances. They missed every single one.
No, but what about, are you trying to say Portugal didn't have chances?
No.
How many free kicks?
The difference
How many free kicks? Lionel Messi would have converted at least 2 of those free kicks that Cristiano Ronaldo had in that game.
Of course. Okay,
easy.
let's
easy stuff.
Okay, we're getting way too away from this. We have to start with one thing, because we're talking about Slovenia. We're not talking about Portugal.
No, wait. I mean, what's my business with Slovenia? Like,
They played last night. You have to talk about that.
No, listen, hang on. Wait. We are speaking about the people they played against, right? You made a statement. You said, right, that I don't know how you said it earlier.
Their penalties were bad.
No. It was something entirely different, right? But because you were basically saying Slovenia, they had opportunities, right? That they should. But I'm not telling you why are you putting up to Slovenia when Portugal they equally had opportunities to bury the game. Like look at the distance to the post where Ronaldo had to take a few free kicks, right? Fam, Alex. All those 3 chances, all those 3 opportunities or 4 opportunities that Ronaldo had, you probably would bury one. Like facts. Like I would.
I don't back myself.
No, but I trust you, bro. Come on, man. I know what you can do and what you can't. I know you will bury one of those stuff. Alex, you will try one. Sarah, you will try half of it. At least you will go.
I would have scored.
Thank you. Like, see, when you support Lionel Messi, this is what you believe you can do too, right? Because we've watched a proper GOAT do these things times that number, and we know what a fan of a GOAT or somebody who has watched him, you would know. Ronaldo was just doing this is the time where I feel like he should just. It's not every time he has to be me. Like the moment Bruno Fernandes would have done something.
Bruno Fernandes is.
I mean, the penalty that made him cry, right? We know. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Like, please, viewers, you guys know what I'm about to tell you is like the gospel truth. If there's anybody that should be taking penalties for Portugal right now, it should be Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has proven times with that number that he's probably one of the best penalty takers in the planet currently. He doesn't miss. He's not stressed. There's nothing. He would just go in front of the goal. He knows where the ball is going to go. He's going to put it there. And at least 98% chances the keeper will not catch the ball. Ronaldo currently, you could clearly see that he was going through a very hard time with all those set pieces. It wasn't working for him. The question is, at what point do you call it a day? To say, okay, you remember we were speaking about Ronaldo being a leader that we've seen in a couple of games. This is the point where I would have expected him to show this personality. To be like, right, okay, today's not working out for me. The ball is not coming, right? You know, there's a few instances where he was just at the wrong place or he's just a few meters away from where the ball is going to go. He would jump in and it's not coming to him and you could tell how frustrated he was, right? So if you've tried 1-2, maybe you'll be like, okay, I will be happy to take the ball as Cristiano Ronaldo and say, Bruno Fernandes, come do it. It would be more honorable than for him to always, every single time, there is a set piece. He's already guiding the whole of that area like he's a security officer. Fam, security officers don't even guard places like that the way he tried to guard the ball for him to go take a set piece. And he was just messing things up. Bruno Fernandes, there are so many people in the Portuguese team, even Bernardo Silva. Trust me, he would even take those set pieces better than Cristiano Ronaldo at this point. And I don't understand why he continues doing it.
I think for me, the damning thing is when I talked about Cristiano coming into this Euros, I was impressed by how maybe he'd become a little bit more selfless in terms of his style of play. He was setting up his opponents, he was passing the ball more. But it does take away from that, we know the top Ronaldo back in 2016, 17, when he was playing for Real Madrid, he would dominate games and he would win games by himself. I think this today, an analogy I would use is, you can teach a boxer a technique, but if at the end of the day, he's always going to revert to type and swing. Ronaldo reverted to type yesterday, was trying to dominate the game himself. He had, 5 shots. I think the free kicks were even, it was disappointing to see. He's taken 60 free kicks at World Cups and Euros. Have a guess how many he scored?
Oh, it's so low. I saw this
1.
stat.
Oh, my God.
1.
Oh,
so
my God.
I think it's just,
I
don't know, it's disappointing to see. I know he's an amazing player. He's still got it, but I don't know whether it was just an off night for him last night.
No, stop. One
he was
person
really
who did
disappointing.
think that Ronaldo had a ton of leadership, in fact, and it's not Klinton Cod, was Coach Roberto Martinez. This is what he had to say after the match last night.
First and foremost, I think it's a constant example for us. When you see a player, the only player, let's say, that has ever played 6 European Championships, and he's got that responsibility, that desire, that belief as a young man those emotions are incredible for someone that has won everything and has experienced everything. He doesn't need to care that much. And that's why I thank him for being the way he is, for caring for the group, for being someone that after missing a penalty, which only the penalty takers can miss penalties, and you have to give credit to the goalkeeper. He was the first penalty taker. I was certain that he had to be the first penalty taker and show us the way to the victory. And I think we're all very, very proud of our captain. The dressing room was delighted with what he's done, and I think he gave us all a lesson that you need to live every day as the last one. You need to have real high standards and never give up. Life and football gives you difficult moments, and the way he reacted is a real example that we are very proud in Portuguese football. First and foremost, I think it's a constant example for us.
Okay. No, because now it's my turn.
All right, don't worry, go on, it's fine.
Because to be proud of Ronaldo, I think, and the way he talks about he doesn't have to care anymore. If he doesn't care, then don't call him up. Of course he cares, right? Some of the things he said, Roberto Martinez, I don't really understand. But listen, you're Cristiano Ronaldo. You are the captain of your Portuguese team. You don't score this penalty. It was in fact saved. I understand. That is heart-wrenching. It's very difficult. You are trying to win this match. But for you to then go and cry in front of your teammates who you are supposed to be picking up, in front of the other team who now, if I'm Slovenia, I'm looking at this thinking, we have broken him. That's an absolute boost for the Slovenian team. What are you talking about? Leadership. Also, you didn't have a good match. I'm getting to the point now where Ronaldo is harming Portugal more than, in fact, bringing in, any sort of advantage. Like you guys spoke about, the free kicks. Why are you taking all of them? You were shooting them into the stands. He wasn't able to do anything. And I think it's sad because we've seen, like you mentioned, that glorious time when he was at Madrid and what he was capable of. But it's just something that comes with age, and it is a tough pill to swallow, but he needs to be starting on the bench. Because if I were the coach and this was the attitude I saw, I wouldn't be saying, oh, passion. Oh, it's because he cares. I'd be like, this is embarrassing because we have another 15 minutes to play. Go leave it all out on the pitch and cry after the match like everyone else does.
I think the big thing is Ronaldo is a focal point of this Portuguese attack, and they look to him to be, the guy who gets you the goals, who gets you in those good positions. But when he's not performing, they still continue to look to him, and they've got to have some sort of change of tactic. They can't. It's like England. Can't keep doing the same thing and expect it to change. I know Ronaldo is one of the best players to ever play football, and in those big moments, he can turn up. Obviously, in the penalty shootout, he did. But when you're constantly looking for Ronaldo in your attack, and he's not performing, you've got to think of ways to change it. And I don't think, I think it was right to keep him on because obviously the penalty shootout was a possibility, and you can't not have Ronaldo on a penalty shootout. He's one of the best penalty takers there ever has been. Yesterday's penalty, it wasn't a bad penalty. It was a good save. But I agree with you. I think when you look at that Portuguese attack, it will be so much more fluid, and I feel like they could do so much more if he came off the bench with 20 minutes to go. And that, imagine you're a team like Slovenia and you think you've got Portugal under check, and then they bring Ronaldo on with 15 minutes to go. That's a whole new problem that you've got to deal with. Not just Bernardo Silva. These players, João Felix and Rafael Leão, these are players that are producing that quality. But when you add in that Cristiano Ronaldo element at the end, it can do so much more than I think it can when he's starting. 10 years ago, yes. Now I feel like you've got to change his role a little bit.
Ronaldo just needs to understand that, at some point in life, there is time for everything. There is time for you to want to have the whole shine on a pitch. There is time for you to, the time where he should be looking at trying to get the shine is gone. There's something I realized about Ronaldo when he's on the pitch, and I'll tell you this thing for free. I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care what anybody wants to think. If you're a Ronaldo fan, you think I'm lying, please go and hug a transformer, right? Now, fact is, and I've noticed it with Cristiano, right? When he's on the pitch, right? If you notice, he's always looking at that big screen that shows all the players whenever the camera comes on them. Like, there's just, I don't know if, listen, I've noticed this thing times without number, yeah? When anything happens, if he tries to head a ball and it doesn't come to him or he passes the ball, he's looking at the screen there to see if it's my face that's being shown there. Fam, you've been playing this thing all your life, like you've had all the media attention. He's one of the, I don't know if he's probably the most famous. Who is the most famous person? Maybe Lionel. Obviously, after Lionel Messi, right? Who would you say is the most famous person, right? You'll probably bring in
At the moment,
or
I'd probably say Mbappe. In terms of
bro,
fame,
I'm not talking about kids. Like I'm talking about like
I think it was Ronaldo,
yeah?
but did Messi overtake him when the World Cup happened? I think there was a social, like, I'm just talking about, like, social media followers.
Yeah, but no, let's leave the social. If we want to go by social media, Ronaldo is probably one of the most followed, right? But what I'm trying to say here is Ronaldo he's been through any kind of media popularity, right? Like I said, he's one of the most famous people on earth. I don't understand why every single time he's on the pitch, he's still trying to look for some kind of attention, right?
He's
like I
the
said,
most followed on socials.
Like I said, this guy, there were two people on that pitch who we should be speaking about a lot. We should be literally giving every single credits to. Black and Diogo Costa, right? These two guys were if not for the fact that Diogo Costa even saved 3 penalties, the best man of that game was Black, right? Because he was literally the man of the match. And then they went to the penalty shootout. Diogo Costa took the shine because obviously he saved 3 penalties, which is, I wouldn't really say is yes, he followed the ball very good, but the people that were playing it, they were all rubbish. Like I said, Slovenia, they came to that game without thinking they were going to do anything about penalties. They just went there to win, and we saw it. They had chances. They played very well against a team like Portugal, who I would classify as one of the most complete teams in the tournament. Like, they have everything it takes to win this tournament if they wanted to. And you're facing a team like Slovenia, and then you are crying, Ronaldo crying. Like, Ronaldo, this is why when I look at Lionel Messi and I would try to compare them, both of them, and we know where they've become, I will tell you 100 reasons why Lionel Messi is